How's it going, Tim?
Hey, Chad, it's pretty good.
I tell you what, we had a heck of a couple of games in basketball. That's going to be exciting to talk about.
Yep.
And, we're undefeated, and that's always wonderful whenever you're undefeated. And so I'm just really excited about that. But I do feel like I have some concerns about that basketball team. And I guess we can go over that, later or whatever. But as far as the football game goes, I mean, golly, man, we fought real hard. We almost won it. Defense was just horrible. I mean, that was the worst defensive play I've seen in a very long time. I'm very, very, very disappointed in that. I just don't feel like you can keep going in that direction defensively. Somebody's going to have to make some sort of change somewhere. At the head coach going to look at something or something. I don't know. But at the same time, I mean, you just hope they can come out and redeem themselves this week.
Yeah, giving up 50. You know what I mean? Franks goes out pregame. I mean, what do you think about that? You don't even know anything about it until like right there on the TV's like, wait a minute, what? Why he's not playing? And
I know that was crazy.
redshirt freshman in. He just does a hell of a job, man.
The whole game. I mean, he just did a wonderful job. I mean, offense did everything they were supposed to do and more. They went out there and played a heck of a game, drove up and down the field, and it was fun to watch our offense go out there and perform in that manner. And all through the game, you felt like we might win it, And, I thought like there was a chance all the way to the very end, honestly. And, I mean, very disappointing that we didn't win it. But at the same time, I mean, what a hard-fought game. We definitely didn't just go in there and get embarrassed or blown out or anything like that. I mean, it was a real football game.
Yeah, they took the lead 10-0 on us, or they came out and scored, and we go 3 and out, KJ's first possession, and we're just, oh no. And then they score a touchdown after that, 10-0. And then from there, I mean, we just rattled off 48 points from that point on, and just the offense was just cruising. Like, that's what,
Yeah.
As much as
you're right, though. The first half of that first quarter, we did come out slow, and we did. You could just noticeably see that quarterback was, having some, issues with, just being out there. It's just like KJ was just nervous. He just had the butterflies or whatever you want to call it, and he just didn't look comfortable. But then he quickly became comfortable. Halfway through that quarter, you could see like he like everything started clicking for him. I just think it was just being nervous, honestly. First SEC game, I mean, that's a big deal.
And we always say some of these in the last couple of years on these defenses. Like, oh, the defense is getting tired because offense. No, offense was driving. You know what I mean? The offense was getting them. They weren't just going 3 and out. Like, the defense had rest, and the defense needed to give them a turnover. Just one turnover, one big turnover. We couldn't get. Well, that's when our defense was when we were winning games against Mississippi State. Pick 6 to open the first SEC win in 20 games. Greg Brooks takes for the pick 6. That set the tone. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Same thing against Ole Miss, 6 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
So many pick sixes, a game winner pick 6 by Morgan there. You know what I mean? And we just couldn't get. You can't get a one, and like I know. I mean that's the difference between like the defense just needed. I mean, all they needed, they just give up 43 points or whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, exactly. I think if you think about you like KJ too, and you think about how he did, I feel like. I'm really comfortable having him back there, and I'm super excited about when he gets his chance to start and take over the reins as well as he did. I mean, you've seen Franks have a tremendous year this year, and you've seen KJ just jump right in and show that same type of understanding of football. You can tell that he's been sitting with Franks and learning that, and he's doing very well at executing that style, and you just want to see that kind of continue, I guess. But I guess what I'm saying is you also you want Franks. I feel like he's the guy. Like he's the one you want in there. Like he's the one that made that happen. Even in my opinion, being able to pass that knowledge over to KJ.
Yeah.
And so you really want him in there, especially for this Alabama game, and then hopefully next year, moving forward, and then you get KJ in just all seasoned and everything, and and I know Franks might go. He might go to the NFL. He might say this is the best thing to do, but I don't think it's in his best interest this year. Honestly, I think with the year he's had, it's been so amazing. I think the next year would just be even more amazing. Just think of the records he would break in the year he would have, and he would be playing a normal schedule with teams where he could pad his stats, and he hasn't had that ability this year, and he's still padded his stats against really good teams. So I don't know. I just like to, see him out there more, But if we can't, if he's not going to be out there, I'm really comfortable with KJ taking the ball and running with it after that, execution that he showed. I'm not uncomfortable. I don't feel like we're going to be scrambling for our next quarterback, and that is such a good feeling to have because we hadn't had that feeling in a very long time.
That makes it easier to talk about this loss. You know what I mean? It makes it easier to talk about. Like it's like, wow, we had it. The 2-point conversion that bounced off. We never have stuff go that way. Of course, when we have a play like that, a tip bounce our way.
Yeah,
like we wouldn't stop. But he also had. I'll tell you what, the offensive line played really well. Gave KJ some good time. Then KJ made a. He looked. He could get a little quicker. You know what I mean? But like one of those spin moves to get out of the pocket and roll out, and then made a big pass, or was it a first down run? But the offensive line did play good. Traylon Smith, 172 yards.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns, too. Just the running game was just – I mean, the offense looked great, man.
I agree. KJ's a little slow right now, and I don't like, if we're being honest, you know what I'm saying? So I don't like running him up the middle like they did, at certain points in the game where it didn't make any sense at all, to do it. And, he's back there. He's doing well, throwing the ball, and we're running the ball really well too. So that's where you don't need that QB sneak when you're running the ball so well. I think is how I feel.
Yeah, his KJ's best runs on the day were escaping out of pass rush, like we're called pass plays, and he's like escaping out of it. That was his most comfortable, like getting out of there and getting his song with the run 16 was doing that. You know what I mean? But the design plays kept just getting a couple and just looked a little slow footed or not. The play didn't develop enough. Something like KJ, he's only a freshman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like he's not going to get better at that. He still looks like he knows this offense and it looked good and had Birch to throw to. They had a connection. And I mean, next year all those guys come back. You know what I mean? If Frank decides to go, but it was nice to see Frank still on the sideline at the game.
Taking notes. Helping out. Yeah.
He was excited for him, man. I mean,
he was a team player. He wasn't pouting and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And he was being supportive and he was trying to help him play the best game he could, and he did. He really did.
Yeah. It seemed like they probably knew, all right. I mean, they've seen KJ in practice. He looks pretty good. You know what I mean? He could handle it if the time came. Like you're saying, you working under Franks and all that knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons Frank's, all that experience. How can that not help? And it looks like it has.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it'd be nice to see Franks throw it.
You're competing to beat him every day. You're competing to beat Franks in practice every single day. That's got to be your mindset as KJ's. I want to go out there and outperform Franks and win the starting spot this year. I don't care if he is breaking records.
Yeah.
So
it would be nice to see Franks, but I guess it probably won't happen versus Bama, but against somebody in the bowl game, just beating somebody so bad, we just play both of them. You know what I mean? Franks goes out there and taking 35-0 lead over Oklahoma State or Texas or somebody.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I think so. I think KJ deserves it. I wouldn't blame Pittman if he sat down with Franks and said, "Look, man, I need to know if you're coming back next year, because if you're not, I'm gonna go ahead and start KJ this Alabama game." I don't think that would be inappropriate conversation to have at this point, honestly, as well as he played. I say get him some more experience, And they're already saying, ESPN's already saying we're going to a bowl game, even if we lose to Alabama, which I'm surprised at. I thought we would need that at least one more win, so I'm very surprised, but it's pretty set in stone that we may play Texas, they're thinking. So, that will be, that'd be a fun game.
Yeah, I'm ready to play some. Awesome to beat Texas again.
So, to have that conversation, though, to be like, oh, should you, are you coming back? Do we want, are you going to start up or what? You know what I'm saying? But then at the same time, he's got us this far this year. He's done so well. Maybe you just want to give him the opportunity to shut this thing on out, I don't know, And then you got the bowl game. Like, if he does declare, is he going to declare before the bowl game and go do that? Or is he going to play the ball and go after? I mean, I don't know. A lot of things to think about. It's always tough when you got a player this good at this point in their career,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder how I guess we'll see kind of who they roll out. We didn't know who they rolled out until kickoff last Saturday. Probably the same this coming Saturday.
Mm-hmm. So, shoot, man. I guess we should roll through this game, man.
All right.
All right, so we went in there and lost this one, 48-50, very close game. We started it off with the Missouri field goal. Missouri coming back, make a touchdown. And, at that point in the game, you're feeling like this sucks, because, they kind of, they've rattled off a couple points, and you're a little shaken, because they did it quite easily, It didn't take them, that long into the game to do it, It's within the first couple drives, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They come out and drive. You think, well, we held them to. I mean, then they started getting the touchdowns, but the field goal kicker killed us all day. Or I wish we had. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That first drive though by Arkansas, we didn't even run the ball one time to Traylon Smith. Like that was when he ended up with 172 yards. Like help your freshman quarterback. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No offense to Mike Woods, but he's a receiver and he's doing the rushing. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would have been nice to see Traylon Smith out there, in that first drive.
It would have been. Getting him out there early, getting him a few more touches, instead of waiting until you see if it works, and then it does, because it's, worked the past couple games. So that's the thing, right? Like, why are we checking to see if it's going to work again when we've already seen that, But I don't know. Maybe they know something we don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you see the offense put up the points, And
I mean, he did have some fumbles, so maybe that's the, maybe there's some Butterfinger issues. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's more prevalent at practice than, I don't know.
That's true. Wow. I don't know.
Shit. I don't know, but then you can get back into this like you're saying, and we go down there and get that touchdown, and they blocked that extra point, right? So.
Mm-hmm.
That was just, golly, what a mess that is. Like, you just don't want that happening, right? Like, I don't know. We've had a pretty good special teams for most of the year, so it's really disappointing when you start seeing things like that. But I don't know. We have had some breakdowns in special teams, I guess, when you really think about it and drill down into it. There's been, a few times where we could have done better,
Well, I mean, Auburn, you think back, like how many missed, we had to keep playing, catch up in that game with 2-point conversions after just and then punt, against Georgia, punt blocks and things of that nature. But, I mean, they have been, some things they've figured out a little bit better, but something to take a look at in the offseason for sure, improving.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I don't know. Then when you get it tied up, you get that touchdown to Burks and tie it up, and that's nice. So you're feeling like, hey, we're doing pretty well here. We can win this game. And then they come back and Roundtree well, he did it. He did his thing, and it just put us in a situation where, now you're, they're back up on you. You know what I'm saying? And you felt like, you had it, solidly there.
Yeah. Yeah, we were just scoring at will, but they were too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's nice. It's like, all right, now we just need one stop all this time. And to take the lead just several times. Well, like I felt like, all right, after that 10-0, like they got off to, we just.
No. I mean, it was
I guess there was a couple, stops, I guess, for us to come back a little bit on them, but.
Mm-hmm. Well, then you had the field goal that got blocked, right? And that was pretty, demoralizing. Because you're thinking, like, we're going to hit that one, right? Like, so, it is what it is. So, then we're looking.
Yeah, that puts the game out of reach. You know what I mean? At 36, or pretty close to, or by the end of it, that's a big 3 points. That would have been 36-23.
Yep.
That comes back at the end of the game to bite you.
Oh, definitely does. And that falls, square on the kicker again. That's like 2 games in a row where we see that, where the kicker lost the game for us. And, you got to feel bad for the guy. So.
Yeah,
it is what it is, man.
It's terrible is what it is, man. If it is truly what it is, then it must be terrible.
Well, it sucks. That's for sure. And he feels it more than we do. So my heart goes out to him because he's got to deal with that. So, but all right. So then you get back to it because it's only one job, one thing, right? Like you got one job to do, right? You kick it through the uprights. I don't know. Am I wrong, Tim?
No.
They got to do, it's just one job, right?
Just one.
And so, then it's 27-23, you're up on them, you're feeling good, you're feeling like, we're going to win this thing. Then you go down and score again, trailing, just tearing it up, at will, right? And that was fun to watch. It really was. I didn't really think there was a lot of bad offensive play calling. I thought everything rolled really well. I liked the execution of things. I felt like we ran the ball up the middle a little bit too much with the quarterback. I think we could have, done some different things there because I felt like he was very slow, and you could see that. And I just don't understand why we kept going back to it whenever, Smith was just doing so much better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
I agree. I mean, it was working out where here's an example of one of the, that touchdown drive. Like Traylon, they open up that drive with a 13-yard rush with Traylon, then a couple passes. Then KJ passes to Burks for 41 yards. And they run it for 4 straight times for them. We get the first down, then the touchdown. So just like finishing off a drive, just running it right at them. You know what I mean? Like after a nice big play, you're not. You know what I mean? Like they sat on the ground, and that was.
Oh yeah. So
it's fun to watch. Damn it, man!
Now you're up. Listen though, now you're up 33. Now you're up 33-23. You're up 10 points on them, and you're feeling like we got this game in hand.
I felt like we were going to win by 20 at that point.
And then they get the field goal, and then you come back and score again, and you're like, oh my goodness, they can't handle this, right? And then they tie it up, man.
Yeah, I mean
40-40. It's crazy, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, we still had a chance, that next drive to go out and take that lead, and we go 3 and out after that. I guess we got 1 first down, but you know what I mean. the next after that, and the offense line doesn't give up a sack. I mean, that's just like the worst time to do it. And then they just, then they go 3. And now they score in 3 plays.
My thing is, and this is the second place where I cast blame and say, you lost the game for us. Was whenever and in defense, you ain't done nothing the whole game. Let's just put that out there. The whole game, you do nothing. I'm sorry, you're horrible. You were called out by, Arkansas greats online, like DJ Williams, and you deserve every bit of it. And I'm telling you right now, you were horrible. You're trash. It was difficult to watch. And we went and we scored and we did the 2-point conversion and we're up. And all you got to do is hold them. That's it, man. And you just couldn't do it. And you lost the game for us right there. So the kicker ultimately lost it. But this drive was, because if the kicker, had made it, we'd won, right? Even without this. But this drive was the secondary reason that we lost this. The defense letting that happen. And golly, man, what happened to us on defense? Can somebody explain this to me? Do you have an excuse? Can you tell me everybody was out or something?
No, I mean they played bad the entire game. Grant Morgan, I mean, he did get hurt at some point, but we were already giving up quite a bit. We just needed one more stop, though. You know what I mean? We needed just that one stop after that. I mean, how about Jefferson? I mean, that should have just been in our history. You know what I mean? Like the Razorback. Great stories, man. Of KJ Jefferson coming in there and lead him to a road win, a 2-point. How about Pittman going for 2? You know what I mean? He knows how the kicking game's going. He doesn't trust it. You know what I mean? But what if
Catalan,
we kick it?
I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just had this thought. Catalan got kicked out of the game for this one, right? He didn't do anything, man. He came back this game with 3 tackles, man. Like, didn't you want to, come back with that intensity? It's okay that you knocked that dude out, man. It's okay. We liked it. Come back with that same intensity. Knock some more dudes out like that. Golly. What the hell, man? I thought he was going to be pissed off and come back and have a hell of a game, and he didn't do it. And that's tough to think about, man.
I know. I mean, there's been games, like the Tennessee game, he ends the game with an interception. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's just always, I don't know, maybe he was just trying not to, and I don't know, man. It just seemed like a whole half he should have definitely had more. He plays a half, but 3 tackles. Wow, that's all he had? I guess I didn't really notice him, and we just didn't have any big plays in the in the defense, which is surprising from what we've seen from a lot of this defense this year. Yeah. But I don't know.
So, anyway, sorry. But I had mentioned how I thought he was going to have a big game the game before and stuff like that, and the podcast before. And I felt like it was just important to mention that, Goodness. What a game. It was tough. It was tough.
The only, it makes it easier to talk about that KJ had such a good game, and his weapons are all coming back. I mean, Traylon Smith's coming back. Burks is coming back. Woods will be back.
The stats look awesome. I mean, you look at the stats for offense. You got KJ at 274 yards, 3 touchdowns, a 68 long pass. Only got sacked 1 time. I mean, offensive line out there doing their job. You got Traylon Smith with 172 yards, 3 touchdowns, averaging 6.6 yards per touch. And I don't understand why he don't get more touches. And then you got TJ Hammonds averaging 8.7 yards per touch. I mean, he's having a hell of a game. And
you got to find ways.
You got to find ways to get him the ball more, man. Because he should have at least one of these touchdowns. He should have at least one extra touchdown on here, I feel like.
Yeah, he's had some big plays the last couple games that just we haven't capitalized on it. He should have been giving him more than 6. You know what I mean? Like, he found ways to
And he got 52 yards. He's getting 8.7. I mean, you got somebody. If you don't have somebody taking stats, holler at me. I'll take stats during the game. I'll let you know who is doing the best and who you should run at halftime. So you can just you can keep rolling with them. Golly, I'll tell you during the game. I'll whisper it in your ear. You want to know? I won't even say anything else to you. I'll just let you coach the whole game, and every once in a while I'll be like, "Hey, you really need to go ahead and get Smith in there. Every time he touches the ball, he's getting like 6 yards." And that's it. I'm out.
Just keep moving. Yeah, our run game was strong. I mean, that was really impressive. With that just one sack, that was really impressive from the offensive line.
Oh yeah.
And
it was.
So that's encouraging to see. And those guys are all coming, you know what I mean? Like they're all going to be back. It's a young offensive line. They're going to work under Pittman and Davis and get better than that. So that's encouraging. What kind of the run game and Jefferson has, protect him in the season, seasons beyond.
Yep. I mean, what a wonderful game. I mean, just a great game, man. How about Lindsey getting out there and getting some?
I know. That was
getting some
heck of a
yards,
play, man.
Oh man, I got to give it to him, man.
Heck yeah, that was. I mean, he executed it. He didn't mess it up in any way. Like a big time moment, man.
And he was fast. He was fast.
Yeah.
He was fast.
You don't just get 20 yards, man. Just thought that was quick. Like you knew he had it too. You knew, wow, that play's gonna work. Like quick. Like
yeah, it was good, man.
I wonder if he's got more play time than he ever thought. 'Cause last year, he had to come in when we played 6 or 7 quarterbacks.
Yeah,
he got to play a lot. And he can start a game, and then that was a big play. I hate that it's like when big plays like that are wasted on losses. You know what I mean? Same with the 2-point conversion. Like can't even remember that as a great moment.
That'll be good, man. He'll be able to talk about that for the rest of his life. I mean, he's already going to have more money than God, just because of family and all that kind of stuff. But that's a beautiful moment right there, So hats off to you for that, man. Yeah. And then you got Traylon Burks leading the receivers. Got a touchdown, 68-yard long pass. 206 yards. I mean, just out there tearing it up. You got Mike Woods with only 23 yards. 1 touchdown, 14-yard pass. Like, you got to get it to Woods a little bit more. Like, spread it out some, right? Like, you got Burks with 10 catches, Woods with 2, and Hammonds with 2. Knox 1, Morris 1, Blake Kern 1, and Smith. I mean, it's spread around, but at the same time, Burks is the guy. I
realized Burks was getting a lot of the catches, but I didn't realize it was so 10 and then 2, 1, 1, 1. That's crazy.
That is crazy. Let's get it to Woods and Hammond's a little bit more, right? Like, we can do that. Knox, he does. So, I don't know. That's just interesting stats to take a look at,
I think Woods is capable. I think they'll hopefully work on that connection next year because I think he's capable of having some playing alongside Burks and having some big games too, because he does catch some of these games. What was the other game? Was it Tennessee where he just had, or maybe it's another one of the losses, but he had two catches the entire game and they were both touchdowns. And he come in here, he's silent the whole game. We need him before that. We need him to keep those drives going. He's big, making big catches, and but his first catch is a touchdown.
Yeah,
but we need more than 2 from Woods.
Exactly. And so, we wind up with, 274 yards in receiving, looking at what it was, 292 in rushing. So, we outdid them in rushing, but at the same time, they outdid us in receiving, so it is what it is. But very close. Stats are very close when you look at them. You got Bauer, who, he did a good job, did his thing, but we gotta hit some of those. We can't be, you know what I'm saying, man.
Yeah. 6 touchbacks by Vito. Our kickoff guy's pretty good. We found a good kickoff guy, Vito. He kicks it out of bounds.
Oh
man,
yeah,
I didn't give him enough credit.
I gotta say, man, Vito's the hell of a player, man, and I agree. We got to give him some more credit, and we got every damn single one of them's a touchback almost. I mean, good Lord, what a kicker! I mean, yeah, you got to give it like hats off. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Keep it up. I want to see more of that. That'd be good. Maybe we can slide him back to fun. So what he does. Because he's got hell of a foot, man. See how it's,
Oh man.
Just get a couple extra yards out of it. That's all I'm saying.
And they didn't even have a pass and touchdown. I know we talked about last week how they only had like 7 receiving touchdowns,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't know. And they still, but somehow they got a lot of first downs passing all over. So, no touchdowns for receivers. So we just kept getting just gashed on the run game. And I thought our linemen were back,
Mm-hmm.
With LSU, we had the excuse of 6 guys being gone, but I thought we had the guys back.
I mean, I thought so. I thought, we were going to do much better. Just defense just did a horrible job. I mean, when we go into defense, offense did great. You look at those offensive numbers, you just can't say enough about them, right? But then when we roll into defense, you look, where you got Hudson Clark. He's leading the pack. He's got 8 tackles. That's our number one guy, man. And we hadn't seen that kind of production. Like, that's just, we haven't seen that kind of stuff. I don't know why they're playing like this, right? Like, I just don't understand. And then you got Morgan coming. Anyway, so you got Morgan coming out, and he's doing his thing. And 5 tackles, and he got hurt, and so you really can't blame him there. He's doing the best he can. You got Bumper Pool really kind of stepping up a little bit. He's kind of getting a few more tackles and trying to do a little bit more, and you can see that. He's really he's putting it out there. Brooks too. Fouché is coming out doing a good job. Brown, Coates, all these guys hitting up 4 or 5 tackles. We're getting some breakups. Where we got a quarterback hurry in there, but man, like, can we get some interceptions, stuff like that, like 1 sack? Come on, man, that's not cutting it. We're getting 1 quarterback hurry, 1 sack, and 2 breakups. Like, that's not enough. That's not enough, man. I'm just saying.
They're not ripping the ball away, man. They're not causing the fumbles. No. They're not getting any interceptions. They're doing nothing. Just what we have. That's what good defenses do. But that's what we were doing. We were winning the SEC games this year. That's going to be the difference. Defense got to make. They don't have to score. I know that was.
Well, do you think
they've got to?
Do you think it's a situation where, like, is Morgan like the quarterback of the defense? Like, when he's not there, do they just kind of fall apart? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. This whole game, they seemed they struggled before he was out. Even, you know what I'm. But
yeah, no, they struggled the entire game. It seemed more that way when Catalan went out, like against A&M and then LSU. Like, the defense got, you know what I mean, or we were let up a little bit more when he was out of there. But Morgan, we were bad the entire game. I don't know. Like you're saying, Hudson Clark having 10 tackles because he kept getting picked on. You know what I mean? The quarterback throwing to the receiver who's guarding, but bless him though, man. Hudson Clark's giving his all. He does have a tackle for loss in there, but you know what I mean? Some other guys opted out, so good for him for working his way up. And he's trying, but Morgan only seven tackles even while he's in there. Bumper Pool 6 is like stop the run, like all these guys down the line of like the secondary we had to play in this game.
Yeah,
get more tackles than they should because defensive line's not making the stop or linebackers.
And you look at you look at Clark, like we were mentioning there before. You had that's who you had Williams coming out and talking about DJ, and he he basically blamed it on the coaches more than he did the player by saying that they kept him in man press, out there instead of letting him play off a little bit where he have more ability to get his hips turned and run with them a little bit faster. And I don't think that's I don't think a lot of people blew that up like, oh, he was picking on the player Hudson. I don't think he was. I really doesn't with that tweet. I feel like he was more talking to the coaches, saying that
That's
you
the
gotta.
scheme. Like, what are you playing him? Like, how are you using him? They're the ones that Hudson Clark's going to do line up where Odom tells him to. You know what I mean? Rhodes is linebacker there. I mean,
exactly. So, I don't agree with who was, talking, like some of the people were saying on Twitter. I don't agree that DJ was talking about the player. I think he was talking about the coaches. He was just using that player as an example as to what he was seeing so that, he could point something out specific that you could go back and take a look at. And you could say, yes, they are. They're playing man press there. That is a bad decision. Maybe we are being in the zone here.
He's just a freshman, man. He's a walk-on cornerback that's playing in Dallas schools, private leagues and stuff, winning championships and stuff. But anyways,
I mean, I'm happy to have him. I think he did a hell of a job. I didn't watch the game and think, he's having a hard time or whatever. I guess that maybe that's the consensus now. I didn't feel like that. I mean, I felt like they were all getting beat. Really, I felt like I didn't see any cornerbacks that were doing what they should be doing out there, in my opinion.
I'm with you. Okay, well. Anyways, it's not like DJ Williams was saying he should be off the field. He was just saying, different schemes played. But yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, they all. I mean, I don't know. There's nothing I can really. You can't say anything. One sack.
And then you got Nichols, Blair, Kelly, Henry. They're all getting 2 solo tackles. Mason with a tackle. Bishop. Williams, Marshall getting the tackle. I mean, everybody, did a little bit of production, but nothing. Nobody stepped up, especially when we needed it right there at the end of the game. Didn't step up. We mentioned it earlier, and yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say about that. I don't know. You got anything else, man? I miss anything? Jesus,
no, absolutely not. Yeah, that game's done, man. Yeah, the offense and the defense is awful. So, just a shame we should have won it, man. That's another couple wins we should have won.
Yeah,
of games we should have had a chance to win. And if you're asking me before this year, would you take it? Yeah, I'm still happy, man. I think Pittman's a good coach. I mean, I think there's a lot of potential. I think just felt like we left a couple wins on the table, but a bowl win, especially against like Texas, would what I mean? I mean that wouldn't do Pittman any harm. Coming out there, but
yeah. Well, let's take a quick moment before we go into Alabama game, and let's just reflect on this year and say, did you think at this point, we were going to have the record we have, at the very beginning of this year, like. I don't know, man. I mean, we made our predictions,
I might have been a little bit too much homer in the.
I don't know. You still got to count the Auburn loss as a win too. Like I'm still on board with that.
Maybe we upset Bama. You know what I mean? Did I say that one?
I would like to see us upset Bama, and I'll tell you what, man. It can be done. Any team can win any game. It's just, is it your day, right? Like, and maybe it's not their day. Maybe they're having a bad day, right? We don't know what's going to happen. So, to say, can we win? Yeah, that's why we play the game. If we knew who was going to win, the game would not be played. Nobody would do it, any of these games. And, that's the whole reason to play. So, I mean, I think we could go in there and beat them. Yeah, absolutely. I think we could beat Bama. You gonna pick them? Are you gonna pick them?
What are you asking me for, man?
All right. I guess we should talk about the Bama game, man.
Look, man, we don't have to. I'm just saying, you're talking about the predictions. Like, we haven't played a game, Chad. There's still a chance. Well, it's gonna be here's the only thing that just sound. Sure, man. I'm pretty sure we're gonna lose this game, Chad. But Saturday, it's gonna be 42 degrees and just ugly outside. You know what I mean? I wish it would have been a little 30 degrees and snowing.
You don't think it's going to freeze over?
Well, if it was the next day they were playing, it was 38 degrees or, got a chance. I think it's supposed to snow Sunday. That would have been a cool game against Bama. Snow game, just
Oh
like
yeah, we talked about that earlier in the year. How that would be cool, man.
playing in December. December 12th, man. What do you think about that?
Well, you know
Last
what? I'm just, I'm happy that we got somebody to play. I'm happy we're playing all of our games. I feel like, I definitely feel like we won that dang Auburn game. I do feel like we're a 4-6 team right now. That's just my opinion, right? Or I mean, a 4-5 team right now. That's just my opinion. So if we can go in there and upset Bama, we can come out of the year 5-5. If anybody would have told you we were going to play an all SEC schedule and come out 5-5 after Morris was fired, or right after Pittman's press conference, if we would run around saying that, they might have locked us up in a loony bin, man.
I mean, not a lot of people were saying they were. One would be a miracle. You know what I mean?
I mean, we've
And
always
that
had
one,
the players' backs. We've always pointed out how good the players are and how bad the coaches are, and we've always had the players' backs. And
we said they were better than they should have. You know what I mean? They were better than they were. One thing, Chad, too, is like it's not right for these other teams that played Vanderbilt this year to count that as a win. Or, like we got Florida and Georgia added to our schedule just out of anybody. Like
yeah,
to even give us a
No
SEC
one-
made a mistake not giving us a chance to get a fourth win or fifth, you know what I mean, an extra SEC win because we're a likable program. Pittman's nice. They should have went with that story instead of Georgia getting an easy win against Arkansas to get in the playoff. Well, guess what? They're not. And Florida better beat Bama to get in the playoff, or they're not. So that didn't help them one bit.
got bad news for you. We're not a likable program. Nobody likes us. Everybody hates us. That's the reason why they put.
I probably like it.
That's the reason why they gave us the games they gave us. We're not a Vanderbilt with all the smart kids. They're like, oh, we'll give them a couple easy schools, or South Carolina over there.
Fucking basketball school, Kentucky. Nobody like that.
Yeah.
Nobody like that.
Just let us have it. And one of those games will be interesting. We're coming off one of our worst years ever, and you just load it up. Like, that's just intentional. And it was shitty. It was a shitty thing to do. Excuse my language. Excuse my language.
He's probably going to get us off the podcast. He probably got. He ain't going to pull my podcast, man. But Greg Sankey messed up, and along with these Auburn things, he should have changed the Auburn result to Razorback win. It's not that hard. It's a weird, freaking year. That was Arkansas's win. That was our win.
Yeah. It was.
Then starting off, then just screwing us, giving us Georgia and Florida, and then giving excuses about. I'm sorry, people said, well, before the year, everyone wants to be tough and like, oh, bring them on, and I get it, man. I'm glad you got that attitude. And
I mean, I'm glad we're playing.
But I mean, I was just like, you knew those were just like, I want wins in the win column. You know what I mean? I wanted to be 5-5 and have a chance to get 6-5.
Look, I didn't mind playing Georgia. I'll be honest, but you could have let us play Mississippi State and Ole Miss, then play Georgia.
Yeah,
you could have. You didn't have to be a dick about it, right? And then, of course, all right, you're going to throw Florida in there just to be an ass, and whatever. We'll play them, right? But and then you got Bama, and we always got to play Bama. That's just how it is. But that's just how the cookie crumbles. It's just because we're in the real, we're on the real side of the conference.
Yeah.
Not on the easy side over there. So, golly. I hate Bama. I hate them so bad. And we got to go play these guys this week, man. Best team in the damn nation. Beat the hell out of everybody they play. All SEC schedule. They don't care. They just win every game. Every single damn one. And we're going over to play them. They got, they got that quarterback they had last year rolling out there with him. And, so What a game, man. I mean, it's just the reason it's crappy is because these guys are just constantly good, and it's just it's annoying. It's just so damn annoying, man. So anyway, it's Mac Jones going up against him, and then everybody's good this year on their team. Their receivers, their running backs, like they have just a fully complete team. It seems like offensively.
I mean, Devontae Smith, the receiver, 80 catches, 1,300 yards, 15 touchdowns. 15 touchdowns in 9 games. Oh, that's pretty good. And so Mac Jones had somebody pretty good through, and Jones is pretty good, man. And then Najee Harris, running the ball. They're always able to run. Bo Robinson Jr. and you know what I mean. But Jones is a pretty good quarterback. They don't have the AJ McCarrons, anymore.
No,
those guys were just game managers. Like these guys can throw. The last couple they've had, him and Hurts, Tua Tagovailoa, of course.
Devontae Smith makes it look easy. He goes out there and gets it for him too. Snags it in,
Oh, yeah,
So,
then a lot of run after the catches, racking up those yards for the quarterback.
Just crazy, man.
Always frustrating in Bama. I mean, like just hard to tackle, man. They just look different when they go out there, and you just want to beat them so bad, man.
You're like, what are they going to run? Well, you know exactly what they're going to run. They're run the same damn thing they've always ran. Same thing they've been running for a while. They changed it up to a little bit, have this little bit of this weird little, like, fast-paced feeling to their offense. But it's like Nick won't commit to it. But at the same time, it doesn't matter because it's just damn working, right? But maybe that's the thing, man. Is that pace? Maybe that's the pace everybody should be going, right? So I don't know, man. It's so ridiculous.
Just good.
If our defense plays the way we played last week, we're gonna get fucking demolished. Period. Oh, yeah. It's gonna be embarrassing. I don't know what else to say. I tried to hold it in, man. I tried to hold it in as long as I could. I just can't hold it in no more. That's what's gonna happen, man. We're gonna be crying. And we're going to wish we hadn't even turned the game on. If that's how they play. Now, if they play the way they play when we play like Auburn or something like that, then it's going to be much better, right? You're going to feel a whole lot better about it. And even Georgia game, right? You're going to feel a whole lot better about this game. So, I mean, a lot of it's just going to be like, what do we see? Like, we thought we had an identity as a football team, and we do as an offense, and we're a very good offense. We got that identity. But what's our identity for defense? What's our defensive identity? I've seen us do so many different things this year. I don't know.
Yeah, there really isn't one right now. We're missing that. Yeah, you're right. If we play, we did against Missouri, against Bama, it's going to be bad. It's going to be over quick, and we're going to just feel ashamed the rest of the day that we're that far behind Bama. Okay, 13 losses in a row. If it makes it 14, I don't know.
And that's how we'll feel too.
I just wish we could though, man.
That's a good way to put it, man. We're gonna feel ashamed, man. Like just embarrassed, right? Like
a different kind of hog depression. You know what I mean? It's not like after a heartbreaking loss. It's just like, wow, we're just so far.
Like, if we lose by like 7 points to Bama, okay, man, I'm freaking probably happy.
Yeah, we moved under with that Morris. We were under that step of everybody. I mean, we were losing to Vanderbilt. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And everybody, not one SEC win. Or Pittman's taking us above those Mississippi schools for sure. Tennessee, we're probably above Vanderbilt. And
listen, here's what I'm telling the players. If I'm Pittman, I'm telling them this. Guys, this is your one chance. This is your one chance to go out there and win a game that nobody thought that you'd be able to win. To go out there and shock the entire nation. And if you win this game, not only is this going to be beneficial to you this year, but next year, they're going to rank us in the top 25. So you have the opportunity right now to put the University of Arkansas Razorbacks in the top 25 after you run out of this damn tunnel. Now turn that damn jukebox on. Let's go, boys. I don't know, something like that. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what.
That fired me up, man. I'm ready to go out there and play Bama. I'm ready to go. You know, that's awesome, man.
If we have the right attitude, if we have the right everything, if everything falls our way, if our defense go out there and plays well and maybe snags a pick from this QB, maybe, I think that's it. I think maybe we do that 3-man front, right? And we do just throw a lot of linebackers out there and just try to snag some footballs out of the air, man. Because if we're intercepting them or making them throw in too tight of a window, that would be really good for us. But, can we stop the run at that point if we do that? So then they do have the opportunity just to run it on us. And that's exactly what we've seen other teams do this year. So, golly. And they will if they want to. So, I don't know. I just don't know how you tell our defense to attack this offense successfully.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to do, man. But yeah, I mean Harris already over 1,000 yards, 20 touchdowns in just 9 SEC games. I mean, just all conference schedule. These guys they're that good when they're just running behind that offensive line. Just everything. I mean, how do you stop it? I mean, the way we look, the way we let Missouri run through. It's I mean, it's got to do something. If we're going to have any chance to even be in this game, the defense has got to make plays. We're going to have to, block a kick or do something, return a kick maybe. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Interception, force a couple fumbles, just get, I don't know, something go our way. Put some pressure on the quarterback. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just a show-out game. People are going to be watching. There's not a lot of college football this week, and people still want to see Bama. Should we rank them number one or, or whoever, number Clemson or I guess Notre Dame's undefeated, but whoever else is number one. So you're going to be watching that game. Arkansas's got a big stage, like you're saying. Chance to be ranked next year. You can tell these players, hey, because all these offensive weapons coming back. You put out a big show against Bama. You know what I mean? Put it all out there. There's a chance to be ranked and have some, kind of. I don't know what I was trying to say, but.
No, I know exactly what you're saying, man. It gives you an opportunity to get out there and, to be able to get some exposure, and that's always a good thing, especially within, this competitive environment that we see us playing in this year with this whole all SEC schedule. I mean, it's just damn ridiculous. Let's look at the wins that Alabama got. All right, let's just take a look. Missouri whipped the hell out of them. 38-19. All right, and I'd say we're as good as Missouri. No matter what, our defense has to be as good as theirs, and our offense has to be as good as theirs. So, we should be able to hold them to 38 points. Hopefully, let's hope our defense can do that. Maybe if they can, we can go out there and score enough and win. And then they play Texas A&M, and they just beat the tar out of them, 52-24. So, that's a tune-up game in Missouri. They're just getting warmed up, Then they just go and stomp Ole Miss in the ground, 61-48. It is hilarious, but at the same time, you got to think, man, we're really on par with Ole Miss at this point, especially rebuilding and stuff. And I just don't want to see that for us, man. I don't,
63-48.
But they did.
I mean, Ole Miss was competitive in that game, man. That was the last game.
They put up some points.
That was the last game they did all season after.
And
I guess Georgia put up Georgia put up 4. They were up at halftime pretty good, and then Bama turned around.
Yeah. You got 41-24 after that. After they did some adjustments. And then you got Tennessee 48-17. Just could have run it up if they wanted to, just didn't. And then Mississippi State 41-0. Just you got to feel like Nick was just saying, "Look, I am better than you. I've always been better than you, and I just want you to know that." That's the type of game this is, right? This is this is just mean. Usually Saban will let you have a score. And you can tell he does it, right? Like, you can tell, like, his defense is, like, break down at certain times sometimes, like when he played Kentucky, you know? And it's like, you know, they let you get a little something in there, but not with this guy. It's like you can tell he doesn't like him personally, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome to see. The only shutout of the year, he just picks Mike Leach. I'm gonna show him, thinking he can come to the SEC again. And,
I got your Pirate.
Goofy ass Pirate coming to my conference. You know, being a prick, everybody, the media just thinks he's just eats up his shit now.
I'm so glad we didn't get him now. Like, seeing how he behaves in the SEC and what his teams look like in the SEC, I'm so happy we didn't get him. But we wanted him. Yeah. We wanted him. There was a point we wanted him, and we were talking very highly of him. I'm impressed with Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss. So that I still don't think that would have been a terrible hire. You know, that was one we were. Pittman came out of the nowhere. I mean, I'm definitely impressed with Lane. I think that, you know, Lane probably figured Arkansas and Ole Miss about the same, and I think he's learning his lesson on that one, you know. And poor old Lane, man, he's had to learn all these life lessons the hard way, you know. Poor guy. He's a great guy, but man, what a bunch of harsh lessons he's had to learn. And he had to learn not to be a prick, and he had to learn like that, even though, you know, you graduated somewhere and you thought they cared about you, they really don't. Left him on the damn tarmac, made him walk home. Like, think about that, man. Poor guy.
Yeah, they treated him awful. Man, I felt bad for him.
They went down in Boca and got all, you know, did everything he was supposed to do, worked everything right, did all the right stuff, and then messed up and picked the wrong school. Poor guy, man. But that's okay. There was a better coach out there, and we got him, so. Well, then they go in there and they play Auburn. And they beat the snot out of Auburn, too, 42-13. There's people talking about, you know, they need to fire Gus and stuff after it. I don't think Gus is getting fired. I don't know. I just feel like he'll be there forever. I think he'll always be good enough. He can't, like, get fired, but never, like, so good that, you know, he wins it all.
Yeah.
You know, so, I don't know. And then you got, you know, LSU getting embarrassed. They were the, you know, defending champions last year, and it's really, man, you could just see they just really took a dump in talent, man. And, you know, I hate to say it, but sometimes when you see that, man, there's some allegations will come up in the next year or two after. And
yeah, there's all kinds of people
paying people.
Oh yeah, well that's all kind of coming out anyways. Yeah, they got pretty bad, and then what they self-imposed a bowl ban on themselves when they were 3-6 like us. They're 3-7, I guess. I don't know.
Golly.
But that's awful. Like picking this year, they're just, I don't know. Just everything came together last year for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Orgeron was helped out by Joe Brady coming to help with the offense, turning that offense with Burrow on, and then Aranda on defense. But
exactly.
Hopefully that's the last time for LSU to win for a while.
Yeah.
I really dislike them.
And now they got to come in and play us. And I'll tell you a story, man. I went to the store today, and while I was at the store picking up what I needed to grab, this dude walked in and he had an Alabama face mask on. And I got my Razorback hat, my Razorback shirt. And I tried to make small talk with him, and he really wasn't, you know, having a whole lot of it. And, I don't know, man. I just felt like that was a bad experience with the band. You know, you're wearing it, you know, you're prominently displaying your school. You know, you got to sit in a, you know, waiting room, you know, with somebody, waiting on your item. You would think when that person is trying to have small talk with you about the game you're playing on Saturday, you would be willing to do so, you know, especially if you're a Bama fan. But it's like, it was almost like he didn't know anything about Bama. Like, he was just wearing that stuff because, well, you know, he wanted to wear the stuff with the team that had the most wins. I don't know. That's probably a crappy way to look at it, man.
Yeah, don't be in an SEC state or anywhere that loves SEC football and just wear a team and not expect to talk about it. You know what I mean? I don't care if I dislike them. I would still, if I saw an Alabama fan, I'd be interested in talking about. Hey, it's interesting. It's a different fan base. Don't you just sit there playing the game and
I'd like to know if any of them thinks like, is there any remote possibility you think Arkansas could win? Like, if there's any fan out there that, like, is an Alabama fan that'd be willing to say, like, I think that, if we didn't play our best game, Arkansas could beat us. Like, they've had a good year. Like, I'd love to hear that, right? Like, I think we're going to win, but it could happen, because there's definitely been some years where, they wouldn't have said that in the past. Just the past couple, so.
Yeah, I always found it funny how Saban tried the last couple of years under Morris, tried to find some, not taking them lightly. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he put out some spill about it, but we are improved. So there is a little bit more. I mean, maybe you can get the players' attention a little better, but they've been smoking us anyways. But I don't know. I mean, we'd have to play just an absolute incredible game, which would be fun to see. I mean, until we get beat, 52-20 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't happen.
And then
go Hogs, man.
The only thing we didn't say was the special teams on Bama, and I'll tell you, man, they're really good too. Like, all of them are just, the whole damn team's good, man.
Well, nobody's going to miss a kick against us. I think opposing kickers are like 15 out of 16 on us this year.
Mm-hmm.
We missed a couple of field goals in that one game this past game.
Yeah, that sucks, man. So when we went for 2, I was really nervous about it. And I remember you said, like, we haven't been kicking well. We should go for 2. And I thought about it from that perspective. I thought, okay, yeah, all right, that'd be fair. So if I had to, if I was coaching the game and it was, another coach said that to me, I'd definitely probably go ahead and go for it. I like to, push the boundaries a little bit anyway. So, it was nice to see us do that and get it. And then that really makes you feel good, right?
Yeah.
Whenever it's successful. So, I mean, I'm thinking, like, if we're able to do that and we're able to be successful that easily, maybe we don't kick the ball so much, I don't know. Maybe we think more about, you know what I'm saying? Going on it on some, 4th downs, even like 4th and, say, 3, maybe, because that'd be the same, right? So,
yeah. I like going for it 4th and 3 on the 30 or wherever, get the touchdown.
Well, yeah, I mean, you definitely got to look at the, where you're at on the field. But I'm just saying, it'd be fun to see some stuff like that. But I know that's risky. But I don't know, man. We've coached such a good. I feel like Pittman's coached such a good game. Every game he's been able to coach, and you could see the lacking in leadership in the game he wasn't able to be at because of the COVID, right? You almost feel like we've lost a couple games this year because of COVID.
Yeah, that LSU game for sure. There was no reason like we should have lost the boot this year, man, or just had it not given back to us. Unfreaking believable.
Yeah.
Like unbelievable some of these games. It makes me mad, but I'm excited about the program. I feel confident like that. I've seen SEC. I've seen us beat an SEC. I want to go out with a win in a bowl game. I want to go out with a win.
I agree. Well, I guess we should make our predictions. It's got to that point.
It has. I don't know. I mean, there's just no confidence in me. I don't see how there is. I think we're 30-something point underdog,
I
believe. But will we play better than that, Chad? That's the question.
It's a good question.
I'm going to go Bama 37, Arkansas 22.
Okay. You know what? I think Bama's going to score a lot of points, man. I have to say, Alabama 52. Arkansas 47.
Wow, that'd be a heartbreaker. Hell of a game though if we play that though. Wow. I mean, they were in a shootout with Ole Miss, and you see what we did to Ole Miss. But yeah.
But can we win? Can we win? Yeah, man. If we come out and we have a really good offensive game, and we score whenever the hell we want to, and we show that we have a really good offense, and our defense comes out and just halfway does better than they did the last week, we could definitely win this thing, man. Like, if we have a perfect game on defense and a perfect game on offense, definitely could win. Alabama has a non-perfect game. They have some fumbles. You know, they jump off sides a little bit. Maybe the ground is frozen. You know, maybe that freezes their little nubby fingers when they stick them in the ground. You know, I played football in Arkansas in the wintertime with the frozen ground. And when you put your hands down, man, they get cold. Bad. And you got to do that over and over again. I don't know. They get that kind of weather in Alabama, man. So
yeah, I don't think they do anywhere.
I really hope the ground freezes up, man. It ain't even got to be like sticking, snow sticking, but if the ground is frozen, that's all we need, man.
Well, if it's like a high of 40 that day, like when they're out there, in that morning time, it's gonna be in the 30s.
And if the ground is frozen, now it's slippery a little bit. You know how the dew gets on and it freezes up and it makes the grass just a little bit slippery. And we're playing that noontime game, so it'll 11 o'clock game, so it'll have started to get wet, but hadn't evaporated off the ground yet, and it'll be a little bit slick down there for them. So that would be nice to see that, and that would slow them down a little bit, especially. If the ground was frozen, and even if they put the longer cleats in, it was still, having a hard time gripping, and we were seeing some slipping and stuff like that. That would be really nice, kind of to see what the type of players they have and stuff.
Maybe for some reason, Bama got the wrong cleats, man. They didn't get the cleats for those kind of conditions. You know what I mean?
That'd be great. The equipment crew messes up and forgets them.
Yeah. Best equipment crew in the game, my ass. Just forget it. Or ours, plays a prank on them and, replaces theirs with, some. No, nothing to get hurt. Just regular old, short ones or something,
No, absolutely. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's the possibility to win. Yeah, I could see us winning. Like, if we did win this game, all right, because I just hate so bad I had to say Bama was going to win, but that was my official pick. But let's do the if we win this game pick, Tim. If we win this game, what do you think the score would be?
If we were to win this game, the score would be our defense would have to play well for that to happen. I don't know if I'm kind of caught between like how Ole Miss was trying to win it. I mean, like another touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say if we were to play good enough, I'd say 35-31.
Yeah, I think if we come out and have a good game and we play defensively the way we played against Georgia, Mississippi State, Auburn, Ole Miss, Tennessee, if we played a game like that. Even the A&M game, the LSU game, defensively, if we play like that, we are going to be able to come out here and have a really good game against Alabama. And I think it's possible because we have more of those games than we do the Florida and the Missouri game that we got blown out of. So we do have more, and against better opponents even, with Auburn and Georgia and Ole Miss having such a heck of a year than, Florida and Missouri, in my opinion, especially Missouri. So we got our defense has it in us to hold them to that 30-point margin, and then our offense comes out and just has a good game, like we had against Missouri, and we had against Florida, and we had against A&M, and we had against Auburn. And we'll have a game like that, then we could put up, I'd say 35, 40 points against Alabama team, and I could see a 32-35 game or something like that, where we squeak it out, at the end, and it's just and it's one of those games where you see like Alabama's just not having a good game. They're dropping the ball. There's some fumbles and stuff. There's some interceptions where we're picking it off and things like that, and they're jumping off sides, stuff like that, So it would be nice to, see those sorts of things. I don't know, but that would be my guess if we did win it.
Well, I mean, yeah, everybody would agree the probability of it's pretty low of happening. But is it impossible? No.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, what if it,
if I'm putting a percentage on it, I'm saying there's a 25% chance we win and a 75% chance we lose. I don't think it's like a 10% chance we win type thing. Like, I think there's a good possibility we could win. You should definitely watch the game and root for the Razorbacks. Like, unless it gets real ugly. You know what I'm saying? And then, even then, you should probably just still stick around, and watch it, and just do what you got to do, deal with it,
Look, especially if it's like 63-30, but we're still like putting up points. KJ's still driving. We just haven't been able to. Devontae Smith, there's 3 touchdowns each or something like that. So I don't hope for a 50-0 game. Just like surely Saban didn't feel that way. He felt like against Leach, like he would feel against Pittman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gives Pittman 20 points.
Yeah. No.
But in a great, it'd be great to see what a crazy game if we beat Bama. How crazy would that be?
It would be insane, man. And I think we got an opportunity to do it. I think we got an opportunity to go out there and beat Bama, but it's probably not going to happen. So that's my guess.
Yeah, mine too.
So, moving on to basketball, undefeated, number 1 in the SEC. Golly, what else can you say about that?
Look, man, yeah. I mean, we've had teams like Kentucky lose to Richmond, so we've beat who we were supposed to beat. So undefeated feels pretty good. And, we had a game canceled against Tulsa. Tulsa was going to be a road kind of a top 75, at least a better team than we've been playing so far in the non-con. But that game got postponed. Would have been nice to see us in the road on a different court. But went 2-0 since we last recorded this week and did where we're supposed to be. And there's so many things you can work on. It's not like the team or the coaches, players, anybody's, satisfied. And I don't think it's nice to see that we're talented. This team, 12 newcomers, you know what I mean? Or, you got a mix of freshmen, a talented freshman top 5 class of Arkansas kids, you know what I mean? They're playing for Razorbacks. They're talented, though. And you've got some guys that's been here that's sat out, man over Note. Then you got Desi that's been here, and Ethan Henderson. But Desi's, he started since he was a freshman, a lot of games in the SEC. And then you got guys like Tate and Vance Jackson, of course, Justin Smith. And I will say his 4 dunks, they're just throwing it down against Southern, helped in that game. Like, you know what I mean? We know we're better than you, and we're going to show it. So those were impressive months. But undefeated, man. I'm excited for the next game. I am ready for SEC play, but hope we don't. We just can't slip up.
Oh yeah, I'm excited about it. I think we're gonna have a good couple games coming up. I enjoyed the last couple games that I watched. I think I had some personal issues with the amount of threes that we were putting up and the production that we were getting out of those. In both games, free throws, especially in the Lipscomb game, but then when we went over to Lipscomb, we did well, but then you go over to the Southeastern Jaguars or whatever, free throws are horrible, and we cannot have that type of game when we go and play other teams. And then again, 3-pointers, we're horrible, and it's like, just drive to the basket. Like, we can't play games, in my opinion, like this. Walk me through that, Tim. What does that look like? Why are we doing this? Like, what's the, am I wrong? This is just a fan's perspective, but what do you think?
On regards to the 3-pointers?
Just the whole thing, man.
Yeah, I mean, we should be getting more than 32 points to Southern's 26 points in the paint, and then 21 of our paint points are second chance points. So the only way we're kind of scoring down there, and then the other ones I think are dunks, by Smith. So we're not getting anything from any of the forwards down low. Driving in, I don't know, we're just we're not knocking down the threes that we're given. Some are rushed, some are a little bit too far. We haven't moved the ball enough. There's capable shooters. They show that. They still, like against Lipscomb, we start off 5 of 6, and then and then we end up 11 out of 34. So the rest of the way we go 6 out of 28, which is awful. And then the free throws, of course. Yeah, we can't shoot like that. If you're going to shoot the threes, you got to make them or stop. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to shoot that many. 20's fine. You know what I mean? You can't have these guys just taking all these. You can't have Jackson and Ote both 2 for 7. Like, those just wasted possessions. 2 for 4, hey, I like. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Something like that. Even 2 for 5, but those are at 4 extra possessions right there. That just a wasted shot. You got a 2 for 8 Vanover. The last 2 games just hadn't shot the ball well. He's done some other things with the rebound blocks and everything. But yeah, Chad, there's not a lot. Had a little bit better points in the paint against Lipscomb, but not enough again. Not enough fast break points. A lot of these teams are playing zone, and we're not getting the ball out. We are out rebounding teams this year, and impressively some of these games too, which is nice to see. Hope we continue that. But we're not getting the ball down fast enough and driving in, getting more. And against, I think Lipscomb, we've had some problems of not finishing either. Sometimes we get it down there, Chad, and then we miss it. So we've missed some easy shots. We've missed a lot of points, and we're still scoring all these points. We should be scoring. We should have scored 90 or 100 on every team this year if it goes. But, it's a new team. They're trying to figure each other out. But
the one thing I would say I haven't seen in these games, and you see a lot in Arkansas games, right? It's just like they just throw it a damn out of bounds or throw it to the opposing team, just thinking that they're in sync when they're not, and they're just trying to make something happen. And we haven't seen that. They have seemed like they've been in sync. They've just haven't. I just haven't felt like they've played good, even though they've been in sync. And maybe it's just maybe that's just they're just showing what they want to show. I don't know. They're handedly beating this team, so it's really hard to be too, nitpicky and stuff whenever they're doing that. So I don't know.
I think that's where you want Razorback basketball to be, right? Don't you want Razorback football to be like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Get past the point of taking moral victories in Razorback football and things like that. In basketball, you just want to have that. There should be a good enough program to have that where you're not satisfied at 5-0. We haven't beat anybody good. I just don't think they would. You can't be satisfied. The thing is, though, the potential of this roster. We're like Southern was, we should beat them any day of the week. But at least they were picked in the first or second in their conference. Kind of a rush game. At least we played and did what we were supposed to do. It was just we're better than these teams. We can be a lot better.
What do you think?
That's at least encouraging to turn that negative into a positive. Like, hey, there's a lot. We can get a lot better, which is good.
Yeah. What do you think the deal with Vanover is? Right? Like, why'd we use him so much in the Lipscomb game and then not use him at all at the Southern game? You think we're just practicing other guys there? You think we're just like, what do you think the deal is seeing that production drop, in that way.
Well, Vanover played. He played 20 minutes against Southern and only 15 against Lipscomb. The game before, I think that Arlington was, I think, really Vanover played at his probably one of his best games, especially scoring the ball. But I don't know. I don't think he's a guy they're going to want to play 30 minutes unless they really have to. Just on that.
Yeah.
Kind
Well,
of
maybe
big of
it's
a body,
just.
man. If you see him.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's just you didn't see him out there as much in the Lipscomb game or whatever it was, right? I mean, it did come out. He had better production, I guess, but just didn't feel like you saw him out as much in that game. And then they utilized him more in the next. But yeah, I don't know. Like you said, the numbers are about the same, so I don't know. Maybe it's just perception, right?
No, I mean he does have the while he was in the game, the plus minus or whatever, it's plus 30, second highest on the team. So when he's in the game, we increased our lead by 30. Like when he's in the game, our team's better. He plays that back line. Musselman never played zone last year. We talked about that a lot last year.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
always just stick man to man, straight man to man whenever pressed. With Vanover in the game, he's felt more comfortable to break out these zones and zone presses and have Vanover on that back line in case somebody's driving in.
And you
That's
see
what's
him,
giving them.
yeah, and you see him pulling down 9 rebounds per game. Like
Yeah,
that's huge right there. So, like at the same time though, like, let's drive in. Let's drive in and like pull up for the 2-pointer. Let Vanover, go up there and snag it down. And let's start. Maybe trying to take it to the basket a little bit. But I mean, I think you gotta. Instead of worrying about hitting threes so much when you're not that consistent with them, maybe it's better just to drive in a little bit and hit those shots that you like, you're a little bit more comfortable with, even though it's a 2-pointer, because you got a guy down low that can go up and snag it, right?
Justin Smith's been really good down there too, offense board, and like we've had the second chance points have been really good aggressively. But yeah, what I haven't seen since we saw a couple games ago, it's one of these point guards driving in against his attacking these zones and just lofting it up to Vanover for the easy slam, or easy layup right there. Some of these teams he should be just getting some more easy points. I like him out there. He has shown games where he can shoot, like he's supposed to known as a shooter. But like inside, he barely has to jump to dunk. So I know we can't do it every play. You couldn't just keep throwing it to him against Division I teams and getting. But there's points there. Just leaving seems like he could get a couple more easy baskets under the rim at that height.
Yeah,
like he's shown he has, but more of them.
Well, I gotta agree, man. I gotta agree with you. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I mean, Tate had a good game. Against Southern, so that was good, and against Lipscomb. I mean, he's doing well. Moody showing out, also Sills. I mean, like you said, like just all the guys you talked about, are really out there doing what they need to do, and we're really got a deep roster. I mean, everybody's getting some touches out there. I mean, all the way, all the way down to Ethan Henderson. I mean, everybody's getting some time, and that is it's just nice to see us being able to do that, being that confident, and I guess, you saw, I guess, less of it against Southern, but, still at the same time, there was good production there, so.
Yeah, remember in the first game we only played 7 or 8 guys, and we were saying we might need to think about getting deeper in that bench. We got a more talented bench than that. So play one of these guys, and I like to see it. And then we had Devontae Davis. His best game so far of his career as a freshman. 5 out of 8 hits 1 3, 3 out of makes all 3 of his free throws. So he's 3 of those 8 for 17 free throws. Then he has 7 rebounds, 3 of them offensive, and then 14 points. Leads the team with 14 points. Has a couple assists. You know what I mean? So great game by Devontae coming in and. Really showing. So there's a lot of potential with this team. And then Moody's been smooth. I mean, he's definitely he didn't go to the free throw line one time, Chad. So you hit and he's usually some of these games he's been 9 out of 10 because he's getting to the hoops. Moody wasn't getting to the hoop that game. I don't know why. But yeah, he's one of those guys that can attack, and he's a good free throw shooter. So he needs to attack and draw some fouls.
We had some good dunks and stuff. That was fun to watch. So, you got to commend them on that. There were some really good some really good hustle plays and stuff. I mean, we played a good game. We did good enough to win both games, and we beat both teams handedly.
Yeah.
So, hats off to them. I mean, great. I mean, I can't sit here and gripe too much. I mean, they're doing really well.
Well, it's okay to think they could do better, and I think so too, man. I'm said this. I'm excited. Happily watch all these non-conference games against UCA, whoever else we're playing, or Roberts or whoever else.
Yeah.
But I'm ready for I'm ready for Auburn December 30th. Oh man, long New Year's weekend. Start the weekend off with a conference opener. That's gonna be awesome. I just thought of that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be awesome.
So, anyway, I mean, well,
5-0.
Yeah, it's what it is. So, what do what do you think about our schedule and what we're looking like? Do you think you think we're going to be able to go pretty deep this year?
I don't know, man. I mean, there's a chance. The SEC basketball hadn't exactly just. This is the least I've watched. I'll admit, this is the least I've watched any college basketball. Besides, I've watched every Arkansas game. Yeah. But, like any other college, I just haven't been interested this year.
Well, it seems like we got a lot of warm-up games this year, more than we normally have. I mean, we're playing, Central Arkansas next, and that should just be easy, I mean, I love the Bears, you know what I mean? Great team, great school down there in Conway, all that kind of good stuff. No hate for him at all, right? I mean, my Uncle Ronnie graduated from there, so he would be just pumped about this game. And I'm pretty excited to see the game myself. But I do expect us to just easily just stroll in there and win this game. I don't think they have any weapons that are, that we need to worry about, What do you think about, like...
Yeah, I really don't have any ill will toward UCA at all. They had some good scholarships available, when I was coming out, so they were a real nice school and stuff to me. And but I'd rather I don't have any to beat the hell out of UCA. We are going to beat the hell out of UCA because we're better, but they're 0-3 this year, 10-20 last year. They're coached by Anthony. I think Anthony Boone's his name. He played for Ole Miss in the late '90s. On some teams that Ole Miss doesn't make the NCAA tournament too often, but they made it a couple times under him. So he kind of knows the area, and I'm sure he'll be successful. I'm rooting for that for the Bears to do good, just not in this game.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'd like to see the Bears do good. I'd like to see them have a good game. I'd like to see it be a nice, close game, even. But I don't think it's going to be. It is what it is. Like you said, they just haven't had a very good year, and they're fixing to have to come in and play a really good team. So, but I mean, let's just be honest. Like we're just a little bit, we're just out of their league. And that's just how it would be any year at any time, even if we were having a down year, kind of. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway.
Yeah, I think we should be able to out-town them, and 3 more non-con games. Looking at it before Auburn, and a good bit of break in between. So that's 3 more games to clean it up before it's go time. But UCA, first year coach. Should be a game we handle.
Look at UCA's schedule. It's crazy, man. The first game they have to play Memphis, 68, 35 or 85. Memphis, got a little bit when they had to go in there and play. Then they played ULAR, 86, 83. Just ULAR just barely winning that game. And then they go over and play St. Louis, and St. Louis beats them pretty handily, 88-65. And then they're coming in to play us. But then next they go over and play Mississippi. Then they play Mississippi State. They go down and play Baylor. They're not shy to play some good basketball teams. And that's pretty cool to see. Like, you don't see a lot of teams that have that much You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So
Look, I mean, they had that uh, tournament canceled. I guess they were going to play Ole Miss, Arkansas State, like you were saying.
hmm
But yeah, that's a pretty good man. Yeah, poor guy's only been able to play three. I don't know whose calls that is, but quite a few games get postponed.
that's crazy. It
Wow,
is
yeah,
what it is.
wow, their schedules.
It
They
is
got
what it is.
us,
They got a crazy
us,
schedule, man.
us, then Ole Miss, and Mississippi State, then Champion Christian, then Baylor.
Yep. So
Huh,
good
luck.
luck with that. I mean, you'll win that champion Christian game, so
Yeah,
it's probably old. You might win Ole Miss too. Like they're
yeah.
pretty trash sometimes, so you got a good
They're
chance there.
they're 1-0. Ole Miss has played one game. What in the hell? Okay, there's some okay. I mean, there's some okay.
How do you get away with just one game?
Kentucky's 1-3. They suck. They're at the very bottom of this conference. We better not lose to them this year. Last year we shouldn't have lost to them. You know what I mean? At home we had that lead and got the
hmm
coach thrown out. We cannot lose this year to Kentucky, even
No,
if it's at their place. I don't care.
no, I agree. I agree. You gotta play them well, and you gotta win that game. Goodness gracious. Well, I don't know. Hats off to Central Arkansas. Though, is there any players on that team that is like, like out the roof or anything that, like they got
I
one
don't think they've got
superstar?
the best. The best player is Rylan Bergerson, a senior from Boise State, 6'6", guard forward.
Okay.
He averages 17 points a game. So a decent player. DeAndre Jones, number 55. Keep an eye out. He's the point guard, another senior. So they've got a couple seniors that's been through it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I guess they played together. He's from Boise, too. Wow, where are all these people from Boise coming to? Well, they've got all kinds of guys. Just all over
Center.
the all over the country and the world. Wow, what an interesting team. But anyways, yeah, and he's at 13. They shoot free throws pretty good. Those two at least.
Mm-hmm.
But he turns the ball over a lot. But I guess less assists and turnovers. That's never good. Lead rebounder is George Sampson, but he's not much of a threat inside. So they look to go about 8 deep. So they don't play a whole lot of guys. Maybe one or two more, a few more minutes, but
Mm-hmm.
main rotation about 8 guys.
Okay.
So, but
And then we got Oral Roberts after that.
yeah, I think we'll probably talk about that one
Yeah.
next week. 'Cause that one's next Sunday.
Oh, is it really? Okay, so we got a little downtime, a little time to take a breath
Got a
after
whole
this
week. Yeah. Well, an afternoon game. I like afternoon games.
one. Mm-hmm. That'll be good.
And Abilene Christian after that. Abilene Christian turn around on Tuesday.
So, anyway, well, I mean, goodness, what do you think? You want to make a pick on that?
Yeah. I've got Arkansas 103, UCA 64.
Arkansas 103, UCA 64. All right, I'm gonna say Arkansas 115,
Nice.
UCA 72.
72. That's a good one. Almost picked 72. Yeah.
I'll get some points.
That's some good scores. Those are realistic scores to me.
I could see
Think
us
they come-
running this one up, especially after we did that one game, so I could see us getting in the groove and running it up, and you hope to see that, I think we got an opportunity this year. You come out and you play some good basketball, and you got an opportunity to make something happen, and maybe go a little bit further, and maybe you thought you would, at the beginning of the year. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just because we were playing teams that aren't that good at this point. But I'm excited. I mean, I'm feeling really good about our basketball team, and maybe it's because of the 142-point game. Maybe it's because we're just rolling through these people. I don't know what it is, but there's something that just really feels good about this basketball team. Even though you're looking at these wins, and it's like Mississippi Valley State, North Texas, Texas Arlington, Lipscomb, Southern University, Central Arkansas. Like, you're looking at these wins, and you're like, golly, man, Wish there was a Kentucky in there or something,
Yeah, well, I mean, they were supposed to play Louisville and Oklahoma and some other better names before kind of they had to change to more of a regional schedule.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they didn't play Oklahoma. I don't know. That's regional, or somebody like Memphis or somebody, which they really need to play, or Kansas, but anyways, yeah, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but there's a lot of growth to be had, and they've had exciting plays, and you just know there's something. They're going to be better. They're going to start getting at the right time. Like, it's so early. What a weird year, and they're still like beating these teams like they're supposed to. They're not. They're I don't know if this means anything. Sorry, Chad. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I'm just thinking, like, are we going to be able to go in here and win? These games, and then go into Auburn and beat Auburn and a Missouri and a Tennessee and a Georgia and a LSU and a Alabama, and then, play Auburn again, Vanderbilt, Mississippi, Oklahoma State. Like, you're coming in, you got some tough teams, and it's just it's a tough road to hoe. It doesn't stop, it just continues. And, you got Florida, just great, great teams out there. You just really got to, buckle down and play Kentucky, and you really, you man, can we go in there and run the gamut? Is Kentucky really that bad? Like, is it a possibility that we could come out of this year and be like, wow, this is one of our best years we ever had? Like, or is that just, I just got that feeling because we won the first few games, like.
I think the goal, I mean, it is a talented team. I thought I think there's capabilities. I think that the goal should be to win the SEC championship and then go from there. I think this is a year for the taking. I don't think there's a clear winner in this year. We're playing games. Apparently, we haven't had any game. I mean, it was Tulsa's COVID problem, so it wasn't ours. We've at least started off this way, and we're scheduling games. We feel confident. I think I was impressed. I guess, Southern got a COVID test right kind of before down there where Louisiana, where they're at, before playing us, and everybody got everything. And we're playing basketball. We're looking good. Yep. I think just feels Razorback basketball just feels like we're. I don't know if I know what 5-0 sounds good. It is, but that intensity is going to just snap on quick. Like, we're not going. I don't say it's going undefeated through the whole season, but I think the goal is. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility for the goal to be compete for the SEC championship. There's no just clear cut favorite, so it's anybody's chance.
I agree. I gotta agree. I think there's a possibility, and like you said, we got such a good team this year. We got a really, really good group of guys, and it just feels like we're trying to get to that point where we have it all together. And once we do that, like, we're gonna be a really tough team to beat, and we got all these games. It's like you got all this time to warm up and get everything right before you go in and play a big name, and that's positive within itself right there. So, man, the turnover in basketball is just crazy. Like, you just lose guys so quick.
Yeah, it's not usually ever as bad as we think. This past year, I mean, that roster, they're just I mean, the whole, besides Seals, is just a new lineup, but they're still, that's kind of impressive how they're playing. I mean, just like, whatever, just the different, like, degrees too of like how they got here, when, you know what I mean? Like, just you got some older guys. It's cool to have those older guys, and Justin Smith and Tate come in, and Vance Jackson, that are just seniors that won't come in and like what they're trying to do is help Arkansas win a championship. Smith played in like 70-something games in the Big Ten for Indiana. Just chooses, come down here and make a difference.
Yeah.
And then combined with Moody. I mean, Moody, the ceiling is crazy. I mean, he's very talented. Probably going to be the next NBA draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a true freshman. He's just going to get better. He's just smooth, just naturally smooth and talented.
Just think of that.
And he knows how. I mean, he just looks different than a lot of these players.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got a lot to work, or a lot to get better at, which is awesome because he's a stud already. He's going to be a better guy. And these guys just haven't clicked at the same time. Or besides Mississippi Valley State, you know what I mean? But there's going to be some more games where we're scoring because there's just a lot of weapons. I mean, we got forwards this year. We got guards. I mean, we got 7'3" center that can shoot the three. And when he's feeling it, he's pretty good from it. Our rebounding's been better. It's exciting. I mean, it'll be something when we face an SEC team. But for now, this team, I don't know, they're fun to watch. It's just kind of a story to watch this year.
Well, I guess we should throw a prediction out there for the Central Arkansas game. Or did we already do that?
We did that. You did 115-72. I did 103-64.
Dang, go wild turkey.
It's all right. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm going to have my fun. I'll tell you that. I guess it is what it is, man.
I'm finishing my wild turkey. Okay.
Gotta love Walter. Gotta love Walter. If you don't know who Walter is and you hadn't figured it out by now, you better ask somebody.
Man, what a good podcast. I hope the Hogs, at least basketball team's winning. We'll get better.
This is what you get when you... I better not do that one. Larry, this is what you get. Everybody that knows I'm talking has got it going in their head right now. Oh.
Poor kid.
We got your homework. Woo pig suey.